This just may be the best Neewer microphone that I have ever reviewed. Alrighty, hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here for a review that took me quite a while to actually make happen. What I mean by that is I had been on the hunt for a very, very long time for what could be Neewer's best microphone. What I was trying to find was their most expensive microphone, because most of their microphones are between $20 and $30. Like, it's not that large of a range, and they all basically have the same quality, more or less. And so I wanted to see if they actually had a expensive and higher quality microphone. So I went on a hunt, and first I went to their main website, and I didn't see anything. Everything was between $19 and $35. And I was like, that's, I need, most of them I had heard of, reviewed, or done something with. So I was like, no, that's not it. So, I went on to, obviously there was not going to be anything in B&H. I don't think B&H has anything from Neewer. Maybe their lights, but they didn't really have anything in the microphones. And so I, obviously not Sweetwater. Because I think Sweetwater goes for more like the name brand. I don't think they carry that many of the Chinese or Japanese kind of knockoff microphones, which unfortunately is kind of what Neewer is known for. So I went back to Amazon, and I didn't want to get anything from eBay, nothing used. So I went to Amazon, and I typed in Neewer, and I went for highest price starting out. And I found two microphones, both of them within the $65 to $70 range. Now, one of them was, like $68, like almost $69, but it also had a power supply, a nicer cable, and a better shock mount, as well as like a custom pop filter. So I think some of the price involved in that microphone might have been wrapped up in kind of its bundle. So I was like, maybe because of that bundle, the microphone itself isn't necessarily worth as much. And then there was another one, which is basically just the microphone, this pop filter, and the shock mount, and it was for like $68, like just slightly less than the other one. So that's the one I went with. And this microphone is the NW5200, the 5200. Or 5200. Yeah, the NW5200. And it comes in this incredibly nice box right here, this bad boy, which is kind of one of these plastic / aluminum cases. It's not like a Pelican case. It's not like you could drop this 20 feet and it would survive. It might survive, but it's not something that's guaranteed to survive. And we have some documentation. It also comes with a nice little leather pouch case thing, which is nice that it also comes with that as an option. And then basically just one of these little, warranty quality cards or whatever. And that's basically it. This is the entire container. And it's not bad. It actually is a solid microphone case. The foam is a little cheap, but it actually fits everything really comfortably. And if I was to drop this from like right here with all the stuff inside, I'm confident that the microphone would be fine. So Neewer gets points for the case. Absolutely, for sure. And the pouch itself is actually, it's actually one of the nicer pouches that I've had. It actually has a good amount of padding on the inside. Sometimes it's literally just the leather, but this one is leather with a little bit of like foam and then a kind of felt lining. So nice, very nice. Close this back up. Close that. Put it away. We're done with you. All right, and okay, so I want to go over some of these specs for a second, because I think it actually has the most impressive specs that I've seen on a Neewer microphone. Now, also to let you guys know, on my mixer, which again is my Yamaha MG10 XU. I don't know why I don't know how to say that every single time when I talk about it. But so my gain is at 12 o'clock. My levels are at 3. There is no compression, and the EQ is all default. It's all standard. There's no sweetening of anything. There's no taking off. There's no adding. So, okay. First thing I would like to note is the capsule is probably the largest capsule that I've ever seen in any of these newer microphones. It is a 1.1 inch, which isn't that impressive. But for these microphones, I literally normally they're like really tiny. This one's actually of a substantial size. And the reason that it is a larger capsule, I think, is because also I think there actually is 2 capsules in this, because it actually, well, it would have to be because it has a figure 8 and an omnidirectional. So it has 3 settings. It has cardioid, omni, and figure 8. So obviously it has 2 capsules because you'd have to have one facing this way, one facing that way. And they're both 1 inch. So it has 2 capsules in it, and that actually is, again, incredibly impressive. Not that I think the Omni and figure 8 even sound all that good. I will be testing them in just a second. The figure 8 is obviously the preferred one for voiceover. I like the fact that they have a microphone that has those features, because I do know some people that would be looking for that kind of feature, but I think that they probably could have gone the extra mile with this microphone if they had just left off the figure 8 and left off the omnidirectional and just had it as cardioid. And then took out the other capsule and then spent a little bit more on the single 1.1 inch capsule. Like just make it a little bit higher quality, or maybe even make it just a slightly bit bigger if they take out the other capsule and just have the one polar pattern. I think that would have been a really good thing to get. It also does have a negative 10 dB switch, so if it's too loud, you can hit that, take off 10 dB, and it also has a low cutoff, so kind of where it takes a little bit off the low end. So it has 3 switches on it. Again, incredibly impressive for their microphone. I don't think I know of any other newer microphone that actually has really any switches other than on and off. There are like some of their shotgun mics that have like the a little bit more of a focused setting. But other than that, this seems to be the only newer microphone that I've ever heard of or even seen that has omnidirectional, figure 8, all that kind of stuff. Maybe some of the USB mics, I'm not positive. This is the only one I know of. If you know of any others, leave that down in the comment section below. It also has full 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, so it's got that full standard range. It doesn't cut it off on the high end or on the low end, so it's got that full vocal range. It obviously takes phantom power. There's some of their large diaphragms that technically don't take phantom power, and I'm still not sure how exactly that works, but this one does take phantom power. For any other spec, that's pretty much all I'm going to cover on that. For any of the other details, you guys can look for it in the link. Link will be provided. This microphone will be down in the description. Now, the thing that I really, really like, its shock mount is standard. It's pretty standard shock mount. Nothing special about it. I actually don't like where the loosening clamp wings are, because they're kind of around the ring itself. These little levers. I don't know if you can see that on here, but these little levers where you pinch them to actually put the microphone in. They're actually, so the ring actually feeds through them. So there's a limit to how far you can open it to let the microphone in. So it actually was kind of hard for me to get this particular microphone in the shock mount, but it fit just fine. So it's not that big of an issue, but it was just kind of like, I don't think I have any other shock mounts that actually do that. All the other ones that I have one right here. All the other ones that I have are where the, again, I don't know if you can see this, but where the little pinchy levers things go underneath the ring itself. And so, the fact that this one doesn't was kind of weird. Other than that, the thing that I really, really like is the giant foam cover, wind cover. It's gigantic. It is incredibly effective. And I just like these really, really large wind covers. The larger the wind cover, the less likely you're going to get plosives. There pretty much haven't been any plosives in this video that I've heard, but there might have been a few. But it's way more effective when it's larger. Also, this will fit a lot more microphones that I have. So again, I haven't done any EQ, no post-processing, none of that to this microphone. You're just listening to it the way I'm hearing it in my mixer straight into the computer. But what I am going to do is, because it is a little bright, it is incredibly bright. It's brighter than like the 2020, the Audio-Technica 2020. It's brighter than that microphone by a good bit, but it is louder. I don't actually have to put the gain and the levels up all that high to get a good signal from what I'm hearing. I actually have the headphones down a little bit more than I normally would, which is a good sign, because you want a microphone that is going to get a relatively decent amount of gain. But it is bright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to be turning on some of my features on my mixer to see if we can tweak this, to see if we can shift this to a more smoother sound and less sharp and sibilant. Because if you hear all my S's and T's, they're incredibly crisp, they're incredibly bright, they're incredibly sharp. So we're going to see if we can take some of that down. All right, so now I've taken off a little bit of the high end, and I've put a little bit more focus on the low end, and I'm going to take a picture of that and send it to you. I don't know if this is better. I don't know really if this is better, because this is kind of like, this is really quick. I haven't spent too much time with this microphone, and I haven't worked with it on too many projects, but this doesn't sound too bad. And with my sibilant voice, I actually might take a little bit of that, put a little bit of that back on, put a little bit of that brightness back on. This doesn't sound too bad for my voice. Again, this is still a little too sharp and bright. If you were someone with like a really, really deep, bassy, muddy sounding voice, unless you're going for that kind of thing for like radio spots, the brighter sounding microphone may be what you want to go with. And this kind of sounding mic might help you cut through, the proximity or the bassiness of your voice to help keep the clarity and sharpness. Not saying that this is the mic that you should go for, unless you really like the sound of this microphone and it's within your price range. By all means, go for it. I think this just might be the best Neewer microphone that they have ever had. And I'm going to do some silence so you guys can hear the noise floor. I'm going to set the settings back so you can get an accurate representation. Then I'm going to give you some silence, show you the noise floor, and that's going to be it. Alrighty, and now we're back to its original settings. I think this is the best Neewer microphone that they've ever had. Now, here's the weird part. I'm going to try to put a link down below, but I haven't found this microphone many places. I can't find this microphone on many other platforms and for many other listings. I don't know if this microphone is one that they've discontinued. If it is, it's a huge disappointment, because this is their best microphone that I've ever heard. And now, if I was to compare it to, obviously, a $1,000 microphone, probably won't compare. If I was to compare it to a $200 or a $100 microphone, there's probably going to be a little bit, hit and miss. Maybe it'll shine more in some places, maybe not. But I am going to try to compare it to other microphones in its price point. Whoop. But again, I think this is their best microphone, and it really is a shame that I haven't found it many places. Again, it's not on their website. It's not posted on their website. It's not posted on their official Amazon page. I don't know. I don't remember exactly where I found it, but the link to it will be in the description. Any link that I can find to it will be in the description. And if not, if by the time you see this video, it's not posted anymore and it's not listed anymore, I'm sorry. I mean, it really is kind of a disappointment. I really wish I'd found this sooner. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new. Bell for notifications. And I guess that's it. Oh, and to answer the question, would I say this is a voiceover mic? Because I know I have this kind of rating system. Is it a voiceover mic? Is it not a voiceover mic? What would I use it for? This is a voiceover mic. This actually is a voiceover mic. Now, is it professional, $1,000, project kind of voiceover mic? No. But if you're doing projects like if you're doing voice messaging, if you're doing audiobook, if you're doing more independent fan dubs, or you're doing cartoons for YouTube, or you're doing small, more local, or just going to social media commercials, this would be fine. You will need to tweak it, in the EQ. You may want to take some of the brightness down. But yeah, this would be fine as a voiceover mic. I'm pleasantly surprised. This is the first pleasantly surprising microphone from Neewer I've ever reviewed. It's crazy. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below if you'd like to see me review any other videos. Or I do actually have a Reddit page if you guys want to go suggest microphones to review there. Totally fine. So until next time, peace.